Hello everyone, Ollie here from 𝕬𝕟𝕠 Cinema, and yeah, before we get into today's video, which you already know by the title and thumbnail, I want to give you a couple of announcements. Well, it's technically one announcement, but I guess a small apology. I'll say apology first. I mean, the apology is probably obvious. It's been almost a month since our last video we uploaded, which was for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Out of the cinema review with me and 𝕧𝕠𝕠. Obviously life gets in the way of things, and obviously life is more of a priority than making these videos, as much as we love making these videos. But yeah, I mean, I've said this since basically the first time I've said this, which I hope is from the beginning of making these videos. But we don't have a set schedule on 𝕬𝕠𝕠 Cinema. We just make videos whenever we can. Yeah, that's already it, really. So yeah, I think that's it on that end. Just sorry for a lack of videos recently. And the announcement is I want you guys to check out 𝕧𝕠𝕠's YouTube channel, because he has his own YouTube channel dedicated to short film content. It's called 𝕧𝕠𝕠 Entertainment, wouldn't you know it? But yeah, I want you guys to give him love and support on the channel, and go ahead and consider to subscribe and check out his short films. And the reason why I'm plugging him in this intro is because he's actually got a new short film coming out. It's in the works currently. Speaking of which, I actually need to transfer the footage for him, because I've actually been helping him out with the filming, so I need to actually send over the footage for him so we can edit, because I'm sure he's in the editing phase at the moment, because I think he's finished filming now, if I'm not mistaken. If you're watching this, 𝕧𝕠𝕠, correct me if I'm wrong in that, but I believe he's finished, so he's in the post-production stage now. So it's exciting. It's going to be interesting to see how the because I've read the script, obviously, because I've obviously helped him with the filming. But yeah, it's a very interesting script, and I can't wait for it to be released and to see the final product in its entirety. So yeah, last thing I'll say again, check out his channel. I'll leave a link in the description below to his channel, 𝕧𝕠𝕠 Entertainment, and I appreciate it if you do consider checking it out and at least having a look at his previous short films. And again, consider subscribing so you can wait for his latest short film. I'm not going to say what it's called, actually, because in case he doesn't want me to say, but it might just be top secret, so I'm not going to say. But he has something coming, and I'm pretty sure I can say that because he's been saying it on his Instagram, I think. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's my apology and my announcement. So yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty of today's video. And that is, of course, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which, of course, as we all know, is like probably, at least financially, the biggest multimedia franchise, the biggest multimedia franchise ever, because of how much fucking money they make out of them. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because obviously we have a big milestone coming up. Actually, not really a milestone. It's more just a big event. A big event coming up. I don't know why I said milestone. But a big event coming up. Mainly Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, which I'm a little bit shaky on because of the stuff that's come out about the film. The fact that they hadn't finished the script even when they started filming. I know some films like that, but apparently they're also integrating some AI or something. I might be wrong about that, but there's some other bits and bobs as well that I've heard. I'm just like, why are we doing this? So in light of that, anyway, I'm still gonna actually I've decided to revisit the previous MCU films, or Marvel Cinema, or the MCU short for Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm going to call it the MCU, which is what it's more commonly known as a shorter way of saying it. But I'm going to be ranking Phase 1 because I finished Phase 1 yesterday with the Avengers, or Avengers Assemble, as it's called here in the UK. So yeah, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to finish these ranking videos. So phase 1 today, well, as a recording, I don't know if I'm going to be uploading it today, hopefully. Next video obviously will be phase 2, then phase 3, phase 4, and then phase 5. I think we're on phase 6 at the moment with Fantastic Four First Steps, which is the first one. So obviously I'm not going to do a ranking on that. So it's going to be the first 5 phases of the MCU. So it's going to be a very it's a much anticipated ranking review series, because it's been a while. I've never actually had fully fledged opinions on many of the Marvel films, just because, I mean, they're just kind of just pure action entertainment. They're not like fucking like amazing films, at least I think so. I mean, they're fun, or some of them are fun, some of them are meh, some of them are meh. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting getting to talk about these, because especially phase 1, because I don't know about you guys, but it's not really a spoiler for the ranking, but these earlier MCU films I really dig. I mean, there's one in this ranking which I'm about, but the majority of these, because there's 6 films in the phase 1, and there's also 6 films in phase 2, so it's going to be the same in that. And then I think there's 11 in phase 3, and then 7 in phase 4, and then 6 again in phase 5, maybe? I might be wrong. I'll put it in the edit if I'm wrong, but yeah, so 6 films to rank in this video. Yeah, I was considering maybe doing the whole MCU in one video, all the films, which would be like 30 plus films, and I just don't think I would have the fucking energy to the mental capacity to do all 36, 37 films, something like that, in one video, just because what I've said, because of my mental capacity, but also I just don't, realistically, I don't think the amount of time that I dedicate to talk about each film will, you know, it'll be like over an hour long, and I don't think I just don't think it would work. So I just decided we would just split it in each phase. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and phase 5. Again, hoping, fingers crossed, I'm going to stick to that, and hopefully that I will record and upload videos of phase 2, 3, 4, and 5, because that would just be ridiculous if I just do phase 1 and then completely just contradict the other ones, because that would just be ridiculous. So anyway, I think that's it really, in terms of the intro. So well, other than maybe there might be a couple of placements in this ranking that you may disagree with, but that's the whole beauty of every single ranking video you may watch, because everyone's opinions are different to yours who are watching. So yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, see you guys later. So yeah, let me get into the ranking. Let me reposition the camera, because I usually have it to the side when I have the picture, the poster, and the title, whatever. And yeah, let's get into the ranking of the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Phase 1. Right, coming in at my number 6, my least favourite film in Phase 1 of the MCU. And to be honest, this is probably the most common last placement in this phase, or maybe even in the whole MCU. I mean, I'll be sure to be interested in seeing all of, well, for people that are watching that have their least favourite placement in, whether it's just Phase 1 or the whole MCU. But I'm sure it is a lot of people's placements for least favourite, and that is going to be Iron Man 2 DOS. Yeah, I mean, it's not horrific, this film, but it's just kind of, it's alright. Like, it has flaws, absolutely. But I mean, it's difficult, because obviously you got Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, which obviously I'll get onto when we talk about the first Iron Man. But it's hard to hate this film with him in it, because obviously obviously he's a dickhead. He can be very Tony is very I mean, he's a flawed character, sure, but yeah, he's a bit of a cocky prick, but he obviously has a lot of charisma as well, and I know he's really funny, and being his film, it's hard to distinguish, diminish, not distinguish. It's hard to diminish the film with him in it. But yeah, the kind of, well, there's two villains. Obviously, you got Whiplash. I think that's his name. I'm not too familiar with Whiplash outside of this film. So Whiplash, and Justin Hammer, Tony Stark's rivalry, and Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer. I mean, he's all right. Like, again, he does a good job at playing that kind of dickhead. Again, I guess he's also a billionaire like Tony Stark. Like, he's this cocky rich prick, and he just wants everything that he wants. And it's, you know, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's some of it I like. You know, you got the whole thing with Tony and Rhodey's eventual kind of feud. You know, obviously with his. Well, I mean, you understand why Tony's doing what he's doing, because obviously he's about to die, basically, because of the poisoning in the reactor. In his reactor, the fucking shit. I keep forgetting what it's called. But he's trying to find a way to sustain himself by using the little chips. I've forgotten what they're called already, but the little chips he has to put in every now and again, and then they come out just melted and awful, and he has to replace them every now and again, and obviously that's not working because that's literally poisoning him, killing him. So he knows he's dying, and obviously he offers the CEO position to Pepper, obviously his girlfriend, and I mean, that's kind of interesting that he's kind of passing the torch to Pepper. But and then you have the whole line with Ivan Whiplash, and his dad that passed, and obviously his dad was part of Stark Industries for a while, and I think he was mistreated, and yeah, it was like some of the things were interesting, but it was just the whole kind of story was just kind of a mishmash all over the place. Like, you know, you got the introduction to Natasha Romanoff, or Natalie, she's originally known as at the beginning, because she was going to be Pepper's intern when she was CEO. So you get introduction to that. I want one. And then yeah, I mean, there's not really too much to really say about Iron Man 2, to be honest. Like, it's all right. Obviously Tony's great. I mean, Justin Hammer, I mean, he's an art villain. Whiplash, kind of underutilized in certain ways. Yeah, I mean, the effects are pretty good. Like the fight with Tony and Rhodey, was kind of cool. Like two Iron Men essentially battling against each other, and then obviously we get the introduction to the War Machine suit as well with Rhodey. Yeah, like, again, not really that much else to say about Iron Man 2. Like, it's alright. Certainly my least favourite of all these 6 Phase 1 films. But yeah, that's pretty common to say. But yeah, Iron Man 2 is my number 6. Right, coming in at my number 5 is going to be The Incredible Hulk. Now, despite this being at my number 5, and a lot of people kind of dismiss this film in the MCU because, for some fucking reason, because they don't like it, but I actually quite like this film. Again, despite being at number 5, there are slightly better films. There are better films than this, but in despite of that, there are things in this that I really like. Edward Norton as Bruce Banner, and obviously Hulk as well. Although he's not really Hulk, it's actually I've forgotten the original Hulk actor now from the show, but he does the voice of the Hulk in this film. And does he do the motion capture as well? I don't know. But I like Edward Norton as Bruce Banner. He probably doesn't have as much kind of quirks to him as Mark Ruffalo as he does in the Avengers. But I don't know. I have a soft spot with Edward Norton the Hulk, I mean, it would have been very interesting to see him in the Avengers and see how that would have played out instead of Mark Ruffalo. But yeah, I think he holds himself really well as the character, and Hulk is Hulk pretty much in this film. Like, he is menacing. He's a hunky motherfucker that just wrecks shit, and I guess that's what you want from a Hulk film. That whole university scene is great. The end battle as well, which, you know, a couple of issues with that, you know, with Abomination, his design and everything, which some people take issue with. But like, listen, I really like this film. I mean, when I come to watch all these other MCU films in the other phases, like, maybe this might be slightly lower than some others, but I like the romance between Bruce and Betty Ross. I mean, despite I feel a bit bad for Betty's love interest in the beginning, when we find out that obviously she's with someone and then she kind of just leaves him for Bruce. I don't know. It's a bit shitty, but whatever. I'll just try and leave that behind. But in terms of the romance, I mean, part of it I like, part of it's a bit weird. I don't know, the execution of their relationship, but I kind of like them together. But I don't know. And then obviously you've got Thaddeus Ross. Oh my man, I can't. Awful. What's his name again? The actor, but he's passed away now, and obviously he's been replaced by Harrison Ford in Brave New World, the fourth one. William Hurt as Thaddeus Ross, Betty's dad. He's great. He's great as kind of the villain, I guess. I mean, technically Tim Roth as Abomination is technically the villain, but obviously obviously Thaddeus kind of has a bit of a menacing kind of sort of evil-ish. Like, I guess they're kind of primary and secondary villains in a way. Well, really, I guess Abomination's kind of the villains a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Incredible Hulk, I think is underrated. I think people should revisit it again if they haven't seen it in a while, and I think they should give it another chance. Effects, for the most part, age pretty good, honestly. Like, the Hulk CGI is great. Yeah. other than, obviously, I guess Abomination's a bit of a Abomination is a bit of a fuck me. Abomination is kind of an abomination. There you go. Fuck me. And yeah, yeah. Stories, it's fine. It's all right. It's just, I don't know. I like this Hulk. I like this. What holds this film up for me is mainly Hulk himself, because he is Hulk. Because what they fucking do with Hulk, with Mark Ruffalo in feature films, is fucking embarrassing. I'll talk about it more later on when I talk about Hulk in the future. When I'll talk about the other films that he's in. But anyway, yeah, this is a great version of Hulk. This film is pretty good. I think it's underrated, and yeah, I think you should revisit it again, or maybe check it out for the first time if you've been very hesitant in watching it because of the negative backlash on the film. Maybe, I don't know, but I'd say give it a watch. Please do. And yeah, The Incredible Hulk is my number 5. Coming in at my number 4, this is probably going to be the one where I get a little bit in trouble, because it should be higher in the top 3, or at least 2 or 1, I don't know. But I do like this film more since the last time I watched it, and that is going to be The Avengers, or Avengers Assemble as it's known here in the UK, which I think is a better title because it kind of ties into what later is saying Avengers! Assemble. Anyway, yeah, so Avengers Assemble, whatever you want to call it, however you call it, in wherever you live. It is fun, you know. You got obviously the Avengers that team up for the first time. Despite my hatred towards Joss Whedon as a person, I'm not going to talk about that because I've got better things to talk about, to be honest. But if you don't know anything about Joss Whedon, obviously he did Avengers first, then he did Age of Ultron, and then he went in to replace Zack Snyder as a kind of director for Justice League, and I'm not going to get into that, but despite me not liking Joss Whedon as a person, he does a decent job at getting all these already developed heroes together, and they all have great chemistry with each other. Obviously, they have some batting back and forth, like obviously Captain America and Iron Man, which obviously then goes in a bit of a turmoil later on in the MCU, but obviously we'll talk about that later on. Yeah, like again, great chemistry with all the heroes. The effects pretty much hold up entirely, pretty much. The battle scenes are quite cool, especially the end battle in New York City with Loki and all his shit. I've forgotten what the fucking creatures are called, like the massive robot thing. I'm terrible with all the names and shit. Yeah, that whole battle was great, and then obviously the battle, the fighting on the actual hovercraft as well, when obviously Hulk breaks loose, which was obviously Loki's initial plan. Obviously he has the Tesseract and he wants to use it to open up and obviously rule Earth. Like it's a fairly decent plot. It's a fairly decent story. Like it's good. Again, it ties everything together. It brings the heroes together. We obviously there's parts of who they are and bits of the stories from each of their solo films that come to play in here, and it's decent. I gave it a 7 out of 10 on Letterboxd, or 3.5 stars. Yeah, I don't know what I'd given it before, but it was probably going to be a bit less. But yeah, this film's entertaining. Yeah, I think aside from obviously the team up with all the guys, I think the best part of the film is Thor and Loki, their brotherhood, and obviously Thor loves Loki no matter what, and he obviously wants him to be by his side and try and stop him doing all this madness. And obviously Loki a couple of times obviously manipulates Thor and in thinking that he is actually gonna want to stop all this, and then he doesn't, and it's like, oh fuck, I wish Loki was out. But as we'll see in the Dark World, the second Thor film, in the next video when I hopefully do that ranking, we'll talk about that. But yeah, the whole relationship between Thor and Loki is it's great. It's sad. Like, yeah, I'll probably talk about it a little bit more when I talk about Thor, the first Thor. But yeah, it's Avengers Assemble, the Avengers or whatever. It's a great film. Well, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's great. I mean, a lot of people will say it's great, but it's a great team up film. Yeah, it's just, for me, a lot of the team up films in the superhero genre, or well, the Avengers films, as much as it's cool to see them all team up and interact with each other, I always prefer the solo films, and in particular the origin stories, because I love origin superhero movies, or films rather. But that's just my personal taste. But yeah, fun nevertheless. Yeah, it's good. Thumbs up. Yeah, so Avengers, or the Avengers, or Avengers Assemble, is my number 4. Coming in at my number 3, top 3, is going to be Iron Man 1, which is obviously the kickoff to the MCU. Well, unintentionally, I think it was just a thing that Jon Favreau, the director, who obviously plays Happy Hogan, wanted to kind of make something and hopefully try and maybe kickstart something into something big, and obviously it does, of course. And yeah, Iron Man still holds up. Definitely one of the better solo MCU films, especially the earlier ones in the MCU. The first one. Obviously, introduction to Tony Stark. The whole opening scene with Back in Black. You know, the whole Stark Industries thing, him doing the presentation, whatever, or demonstration rather, with the missiles and stuff. And then the whole thing with the 10 rings, like that's interesting. And then him meeting Jensen, or Jensen. Rest in peace, my man. Helping him build the first suits in the cave. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. Now moving on to Jeff Bridges. I keep forgetting his name, the villain, but he pretty decent villain. He's kind of intimidating because he's a big dude. The dude. Yeah, man. Anyway, the Big Lebowski. But yeah, Jeff Bridges as oh god, I'm gonna have to look it up now. I keep forgetting his name. Come on. Obadiah Stane. Fucking hell, beatboxing now. Jeff Bridges as the villain. He's good. Yeah, the whole thing when he first makes his own suit with the arc reactor, when he steals it from Tony, like that seems like ooh, and then he takes it, makes his own suit, and then that whole final battle between each other is cool. Yeah, it's a great origin story film in the MCU, and even in the whole superhero in the whole superhero genre. There we go. Yeah, I mean, you definitely see Tony Stark's development, his arc, as beginning to be just this pretentious kind of selfish sort of twat. So yeah, it a great film. I gave it an 8 out of 10, 4-star Letterboxd. Yeah, great effects. There's not really much else to really say. I mean, for people that've seen Iron Man, you know that it's great. For those who do like it, I guess. Yeah, great villain. Great introduction to Tony Stark. Tony Stank. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have much else to say really on Iron Man, but it's just great. Yeah, Iron Man is my number 3. Right, coming in at my number 2 is going to be Thor, from 2011. This is really underrated. This is, honestly, like, when people rank the Thor films, they usually might have this, well, maybe at the bottom, people would say Dark World is the bottom, and then they would say Thor 1. And I'm like, really? And then they have Thor Ragnarok at the top, and I'm like, alright. Well, actually, yeah, they have Thor Ragnarok at the top, but obviously Thor Love and Thunder, which a lot of people might actually have at the bottom or the second last, whatever, because, yeah. But Thor Ragnarok, I mean, I'll get to it, I might rewatch it and be like, ooh, actually no, but yeah, anyway. I think the first Thor is the best one, but, I mean, maybe when I revisit Dark World, Ragnarok, and Thor Love and Thunder, I will maybe change my opinion, but I really like Thor 1, I love the Shakespearean vibe of it. Introduction to Thor. Chris Hemsworth is so effortlessly charming, and yes, he's a bit of a prick sort of at the beginning, like he's very like, I must do this, like what my father did and all that shit, like trying to avenge Asgard and trying to protect. I mean, I get it, but his way of doing it is a bit too far, as we know if you've seen the film. But obviously him and his friends go to Jotunheim, fail to defeat the Frost Giants, that whole thing. And then obviously Anthony Hopkins as Odin. He comes to save the day and bring them home. And then obviously that's when Thor gets banished, kind of learns his lesson and evolves into to be a bit more human and kind of understand what it is to be a hero and a king, because obviously he was going to be ruled as king in Asgard, but obviously he was very egotistical in a way. So yeah, he learned his lessons. Great arc. Yeah, he's not Thor throughout most of the film. He's kind of a human without his powers, but when he gains the powers and everything, that's cool. The fight with the big metal dude, the fucking thing, the protector that protects the Tesseract, the shit. I forgot what it's called now. That's really annoying me. I'll put it in the edit. I'm trying to search it up, but I'm not going to waste my time. But the whole thing at the end with Loki, with the metal thing, cool. And then obviously he goes back, and obviously the whole fight on the Rainbow Bridge with Thor and Loki, that's great. And yeah, I think this is underrated. Like with The Incredible Hulk, and another film which I'll be talking about in a second. But yeah, Thor 1, again, another one like The Incredible Hulk, should be rewatched and be more respected. Yeah, it's great. Tom Hiddleston as Loki, he's great in this. I can't figure out if I like him. I'll probably like him more in this than I do in the Avengers. But the Avengers, he's more evil because obviously at the beginning he seems to be an alright dude, but then obviously he comes to realization of who he actually is. A frost giant. Spoiler alert. Half frost. Well, yeah, pretty much frost giant. But yeah. But yeah, that whole thing, his argument with him and Odin is pretty whoa. But yeah, that's it on Thor, the first Thor. Yeah. Thor was my number 2. And coming in at my number 1, process of elimination, is Captain America: The First Avenger. What a title! Because it technically is. He is the first Avenger because chronologically speaking, he is the first Avenger. So yeah, this is my favorite because I love the whole military aspect of it. This is my favorite. I mean, it's my favorite origin. My favorite MCU origin story, at least for right now, it is. With Steve Rogers, like he's this lanky dude who wants to fight in the war because he wants to protect it. You know, he wants to protect his country. He wants to serve his country, but he has all these medical issues that cause him not to. But he meets Stanley Tucci. I've forgotten his name now, and rest in peace to him too. But he helps him to gain the superhuman serum, whatever it's called, super soldier serum. There we go, the super soldier serum. Which turns him into Captain America. Yeah, the whole thing is great. The music's great. I mean, obviously, I forgot to talk about the music in the other films, but yeah, the music, his theme, the Captain America theme is great. This is great. When the fucking thing opens and it's him revealed as this muscular dude, and the theme is like, oh, great. So that's great. Steve Rogers is great. Captain America. Peggy Carter. She's great as well. Oh, I just noticed that my camera's about to die. That's not good, is it? Right. I'm having issue because my cable's not long enough. Yeah. So have to continue like this, annoyingly. But anyway, Captain America: The First Avenger. As I was saying, Peggy Carter, Hayley Atwell's Peggy Carter. She's bad. She's amazing. I love her I love Hayley Atwell's Peggy Carter. She's badass. Like from the moment we meet her, and obviously one of the soldiers calls her Queen Victoria. What's with the accent, Queen Victoria? And then fucking knees him in the nuts or something. Can't remember now, on the stomach. I can't remember. But yeah, she's great. Or kicks him, whatever. But yeah, that's great. And then obviously Steve and Peggy's relationship that builds up until the end of the film, and then obviously the whole thing with him him dying, and then obviously he wakes up 60 years later, which obviously comes with the event of the Avengers, or Avengers Assemble. Yeah, their relationship's great. They probably have the best relationship in the MCU, at least so far, from what I've gathered. So yeah, I also like Tommy Lee Jones as the kind of sergeant as well. He's a bit of a dick, obviously, but in the end, he's a cool guy. Obviously Hugo Weaving as Red Skull. Yvonne Schmidt, something like that. I can't remember, is it Schmidt? And it's Johann Schmidt, I think, the Red Skull. He's great. He's a great villain. Alongside Toby Jones as his little kind of assistant, I guess. I've forgotten his name as well. He's Toby Jones, but his character's name, he obviously ends up being in The Winter Soldier, the second Captain America film. He's great as well. They're great. They have great chemistry as well, those two. Yeah. I just, again, like the whole war military theme of the film. Oh, of course, got to talk about Bucky. Bucky Barnes. God, why am I freezing on his name? The actor, Sebastian Stan. There we go. Sebastian Stan is Bucky Barnes. He's great, and then he dies. Until later on, he doesn't. But yeah, impactful death. I mean, it's quick, but you know, you're like, oh man, he's just gotten back and now he's dead again. Sort of, not really. But anyway, great film. Honestly, my favorite origin so far in the MCU. Well, at least it's the best origin story in Phase 1 of the MCU. And yeah, that's it for Captain America: The First Avenger. So yeah, that's my ranking of Phase 1 films in the MCU. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Sorry if it was a bit short-lived. I don't know how long the video is until I edit it, but that's my ranking of all 6 films in the Phase 1 of the MCU. Let me know your ranking in the description. Let me know your ranking of all 6 films in the comments below. I'll be very interested in seeing your ranking, because I love seeing everyone's rankings of everything. So yeah, let me know. And what will be the next video? I don't know. I think it would actually probably be Mortal Kombat 2, which will be hopefully sometime next week, because it comes out next week. But we will see. We will see. But in the meantime, hopefully I'll get the other video of the Phase 2 of the MCU ranking. If I manage to get it done in time, I don't know. I haven't got an estimate time of when I'm going to be able to do it, but fingers crossed. I would do double fingers crossed, but obviously I'm holding the camera because it's charging. But yeah, hopefully that'll be coming out soon. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And we will see, me, and hopefully that'll be the next video. If not, then I'll see you probably in the next video, which will be whenever it is. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you then. Bye bye.